Alrighty, welcome back. We're going for Kinabris to finish Camelia's quest line, but a skeleton popped up. Show me your wares, please. Perfect. Dwarven Urgrosh. I don't need that. Slaughtering Silence. Whenever the wielder of this nullifying double axe lands a critical hit, the enemy must become unable to cast spell. Destroyer of Plains. This agile, brilliant energy. A stock grants wielder blah blah. Terrifying Tremble. Whenever the wielder of this ultrasound earthbreaker lands a killing blow, he deals sonic damage equal to his ranks and athletic skills to all adjacent enemies. Whoa. You know what? We're going to give that one to Regil. Why not? Terrifying Tremble. Ooh. Okay. Why not? Next time, I would like you to sell me magical mystical spell thingies. Perfect. We can leave for Kinabris. To be precise, we're going to do the quest called The Final Drop. Every discovery is a moment of insight, an epiphany, a spark of understanding that sheds light on vast horizons ahead. But before most discoveries happen, years of meticulous work are required. But what if, at the moment of great insight, the tireless scholar suddenly realizes that the road they have been forging has led them into a bottomless pit? Is it possible to use this power, a moment of realization, to turn around? To halt the foot that is already poised over the chasm? To take a step back and move away from the perilous edge? We're going to find out. I am the supreme noob. Oh no, not again. Oh. Of course, if we want to do a quest with Camellia, I have to take her with us as a dearie. Never mind my uselessness. Damn it. Body teleportation, Dresden. Okay, change of plans. Damn it. Okay, before we enter the city, let's see if we can do anything else. Investigate the stolen souls, Sealer report. Okay, let's talk to Sealer, whatever. Stage play, they want to talk, okay. Army, blah, relics, we can't do anything, okay. And let's enter Kinabris. Damn it. Damn it. Of course we need Camellia. Yeah, that was noob-like. Elan looks calm, but determined. Sealer and you unraveled the demon's plot, protected Elan's bride, and saved him from despair. Commander, I'm glad to see you have returned from the abyss. Alright, here's the deal. Sealer gets straight to the point. While we were in the abyss, these folks discovered where the souls are being kept, the ones that were stolen by demons. Well, I wouldn't say we discovered it exactly. I may be a cleric, but there are limits to my power, especially here in the World Wound. However, we do know the general location. When I was looking for the souls, I had a vision. I saw a rock that looked like a gravestone, and beneath it was an entrance to a cave. I know that the rock is on the outskirts of the Winged Wood. It was not difficult to recognize the ancient forest. It's been burning for decades in an unquenchable fire started by the demons. I'm certain that this is where the souls are being held, but I don't know what awaits us beneath that rock. Anyway, Alan and I have decided to go there, find the souls, and rough up any demon or cultist that gets in our way. But we'd love to help your help. So, you don't have any idea what's inside the cave? No, we don't, but we can guess. Do you remember who started all of this? The esteemed jeweler Derek Sunhammer and his damn trinkets. Well, we did some digging on him, and we believe he's one of Baphomet's cultists. Think about their methods, their magic and their ability to infiltrate society and strike when least expected. It all sounds exactly like our jeweler's friend. If we are right, we think this location might be a cultist hideout. It makes sense that he would take the stolen souls to a safe location in the wound. What happened to the bodies of these trapped souls? We are going to move them to Kenabris when the Queen evacuated the city, but we couldn't. It was too dangerous to transport them. The clerics needed to focus all their efforts on sustaining the lives and health of the victims, and there were armies of demons roaming the roads, so we stayed in Dresden. Alan's brave friends protected the bodies. They defended the infirmary in your absence. Many of them were grievously wounded, but they succeeded in their task. Of course I'm going to help you. I'll leave at once. I'll scout out the area and keep watch on the cave and its surroundings. I'll share my findings when you arrive. My heartfelt thanks for your help, Commander. And I should return to my duties as a cleric. I have much to do in Dresden. I'm just itching to give my blade a taste of those soul-stealing cultists. But the most important thing is that we save the victims, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Thank you, Morgraine. I just want you to know I really appreciate your help. I know these cultists are our enemies anyway, but I'm glad that you're not ignoring the plight of ordinary people, like the ones who were robbed of their souls. Uh-oh. Jenna Aldori. A figure approaches you, but it takes you a moment to recognize it. Jenna, the ill-fated deserter from the Eagle Watch. She looks very different from the last time you saw her. She's calm and collected, though her face is a little pale, and you notice a scar on her right temple, jagged and fresh. Jenna! Sela beams at her friend. You're here! Yeah, I'm here. Jenna falters then, blows out. Sela, how can you be smiling at someone who failed you? I thought you never wanted to see me again. I mean, I'll definitely give you a piece of my mind once we are in private. Sela pretends to look stern, but I really am glad that you are okay. Sela's words bring a small smile to Jenna's lips. And the former deserter turns to you. Well, let me tell you why I'm here. I've business with you, or rather a request. Commander. Jenna hesitates, then continues resolutely. I know about the stolen souls. I want to help you search for them. I've come to ask if you would let me join you and Sela on this mission. Please give me another chance. Why do you want to join us? Because I can't stand by and do nothing, Jenna exclaims vehemently. This entire story began with us, with our League of the Inspiring Koch. Then I got cold feet and abandoned you. And then you saved me the Molten Scar. If I don't help you now, I'll feel like I've been written out of my own life story. We'll discuss that one in a moment. First, I want to know how you ended up in Dresden. That's not much to tell. As I'm sure you remember, you chose not to punish me. You allowed me to go free. So I went to Kenabris. I figured I'd forgot all about the Crusades, have a fresh start, but it didn't work out. I heard the news about you and Sela, that you had descended into the abyss, and, well, I couldn't stop thinking about everything I'd left behind. As soon as I caught wind of your return, I hightailed it to Dresden as fast as I could. But when I got here, I just couldn't find the courage to approach you. So I waited outside the city until I saw Alan and Sela. I knew you must be planning something together, and that's when I realized this was my chance to make amends. I might never get another opportunity to prove myself. So I came to see you. That is why I'm here. How can I trust you? How do I know that you have changed? The last time we fought demons together, you ran away. You abandoned us, and you deserted your unit. People can change, Sela says quietly. All I have is my word. Jenna meets your gaze resolutely. Well, the problem is your word is worth nothing. My word and my desire to redeem myself. That's worth a lot. But it is your decision. Of course we're going to take her with us. I mean, we gave the succubus the chance to repent, and turn to the light. So, compared to a succubus who tortured and killed, maimed, and seduced mortals for thousands of years, she's not even of any significance. Very well, I give you a chance to redeem yourself. Go with the land and help him. We will meet you there. Really? I won't let you down. We're not just saving a cart full of booze this time. This is much more important, but that just means we have to succeed. Failure is not an option. Theater group. Commander, good day to you and all that. I'm Dinner from the next door theater. Remember me? So here's the score. We've finished rehearsing and I are ready to stage the world premiere of our play about your exploits. Grandma sent me to invite you. We are ready to get started, so will you come? Okay. Let's leave now. Grandma Gretlin's smile shines with pride and happiness. Her new ladle shines equally bright, and she holds it like a scepter. Ladies and gentlemen, the day has come that every participant in the crusade has awaited with bated breath. The day when we, the Next Door Theatre, finally present to you our newest production. Theatre! Theatre! Ember laughs melodiously and claps her hands. Greybolt casts a long, thoughtful look at Ember. The elf's joy is reflected on the dwarf's stern face by a slight smile. The massive prop catapult behind Grandma creaks loudly and somewhat ominously in time with her words. At least you hope it's a prop. Today we return to the recent past, to one of the first victories won by the Commander. Our show is dedicated to these grandiose, incredible, mind-blowing, exciting, large-scale, grand, and legendary events many of you probably witnessed firsthand. As the director and playwright, I feel humbled and honored. Captivated by her own speech, Grandma brandishes her ladle with a wild enthusiasm and accidentally touches it, but only lightly, one of the catapult's levers. You hear theatrically loud whisper from the ranks of the actors. Does anyone remember what we used to load that catapult? What the heck? What the heck? I have a better question. What did the projectile hit? I see something that resembles a plume of smoke. In the place similar to the one where we left the crates our props are in. I put my cherry pie in the catapult bucket. Did you have a secret snack during the performance and now it flew away? The last sentence is followed by a loud sob. Stop panicking. The show must go on, even if we are left without our costumes and props. If something does not go according to plan, like people suddenly levitating in the air, we're just going to improvise. Having whispered these instructions quite loudly to her crew, Grandma Gretlin gives a beaming smile to the audience. Nothing more than a few fireworks to celebrate our premiere. And now, we shall begin. You may start, but if anything goes wrong, I'll throw a rotten tomato at you. In the year 4715, in the area near Dresden, a figure appears in front of the army, awaiting his orders. It is their new leader, Knight Commander Morgry. My heart burns. Lampkin pauses, moving his lips quietly. Before inspiring his army with a stirring speech, the commander paused, preparing to say the most important words. Marmalade. My heart burns with marmalade. My heart burns with marmalade. We will never give up. Come on board, my warriors. The huge Cyclops delivers his speech enthusiastically, growling the word marmalade, almost like a battle cry. Commander's speech was certainly inspiring, but he understood it wasn't enough in the face of the upcoming dangers. He needed to describe the goal to the army and give real hope to the soldiers. And so the commander exclaimed. Grandma throws the encouraging glance at Lampkin, and Lampkin throws a pleading glance at you. Rory the warrior and Welcher the warrior were reared wrongly in a rural brewery. Lampkin stares at you with obvious respect. After a bit of no small warrior exclaimed. Then, with his army properly inspired, the commander explained the details of his grand strategic plan. As we all know, the commander planned to launch himself from a catapult and break through the enemy's fortifications from the air. Grandma glances at the catapult, but it doesn't look like it will be able to fire another shot. And this is exactly what happened. However, just as the commander was taking his place in the bucket before launch, the demons set in motion their terrifyingly cunning plan. Grandma takes a long pause, her eyes flashing. I cast an illusion that I made everyone think the commander was just standing there, and as if he was neither flying through the air, nor cutting down hordes of enemies. And now that all of you have witnessed the most spectacular, dramatic, and impressive culmination of our play, let us return to reality for a moment to welcome the person whom we are all gathered here to celebrate, the commander. After all, this was one of his earliest adventures. So, what do you say, Commander? Did you like our show? I had so much fun. It was perfect. Absolutely wonderful. Magnificent. Of course, sure. A mysterious smile appears on Grandma Gretlin's face. Believe it or not, Commander, but every true comedian knows their calling to provoke laughter and smiles, not necessarily on stage, and it need not be a successful, professional, and perfectly organized performance. Sometimes our art exceeds the limitations of the stage. And now, unfortunately, the time has come to say goodbye. We were with you almost from the first day, but now the show is over, and the next door theatre troupe has another place to be and other plays to perform. Oh, you mean like in the underworld? What? Never heard of that. Oh, they're gone. That was... What? Okay, they're gone. Okay. Before we continue and do Camilia's quest, I want to talk to Nino. I mean, now she has abandoned nothingness and became someone. Surely that would warrant a couple of dialogues. You tell me about yourself now, after all that's happened? After all that's happened, it's you who should be telling me about myself, in case I decide to forget anything. She blinks several times, but no, as of now, I haven't forgotten anything, I think. Have you remembered anything about your past? More than I ever wanted, and probably less than you would like, since you're asking me about it. Ninir sighs. I remember a woman from Kianxiar. She was a cultist of Areshkagal who managed to find a way to reach the Enigma. She stood before the faceless Sphinx, took an oath, and dissolved into a blissful nothingness. Totally unremarkable as biographies go. Her consciousness and mine have nothing in common. I simply make use of her body and retain some of her memories. Someone with an interest in spiritualism might call it remembering a past life. Here's an interesting fact. Physically, I'm approximately 4,000 years old, give or take a few centuries. By the way, Did you know that in several developed cultures, old age is considered a sign of wisdom and a reason to revere a person and fulfill all of his or her wishes, even if said geriatric is suffering from senility? Huh. Let's conduct a little experiment. Bring me a watermelon, a blue one that goes cook-a-doodle-doo. For a few seconds, Nino stares at you intently, then she sighs and starts taking notes on a piece of paper she produces from her sleeve. The experiment resulted in failure. Did you remember your real name too? Nino nods and is silent for quite a while. You know, I cannot say that I approve of Arishkagal's circumlocutory rhetoric. No, circumlocutory rhetoric. Is that the correct way to pronounce that word? Circumlocutory. Is that correct? I'm going to look that one up. I always want to improve myself. Circumlocutory. Okay.
Circumlocutory.
Circumlocutory. Again?
Circumlocutory.
Circumlocutory. Using many words where fewer would do, especially in a deliberate attempt to be vague or evasive, long-winded. Okay. Circumlocutory rhetoric, but in this particular case she has a point. A name is just a set of sounds. It makes little difference if I go by the name of Nenio or Oinen or some other collection of sound vibrations produced by vocal cords. My real name, it is ordinary. There's nothing special about it. I doubt I would ever be able to associate it with myself. I should probably forget it, but for some reason I'm keeping it in my memory for now. Perhaps I'm simply growing old and making spontaneous displays of sentimentality? Are you still forgetting things that you consider irrelevant? Eh? Were you asking about something? A mischievous twinkle flickers in her eyes. So she doesn't forget anything anymore? You're not going to stop writing your encyclopedia and conducting your experiments, are you? How could you even ask such a question? Just because Ninio's become a bit disheartened and had a moment of weakness, you think he'll be getting a little holiday? No. My loyal follower, nothing is going to save you from my experiments. Well, that's understandable. Understandable is good. I so love it when things are understandable. Back there in the Enigma, you called me by my name. Have you decided to remember me after all? Boy, what are you talking about? Your statement is absurd. That just couldn't have ever happened. The chance of such a thing occurred at 0.01%. She looks around and lowers her voice. And I'll ask you not to mention it again. A scientist of my standing must be above such things as rational sentiment and mundane affections. Even the fellow on the street knows that one's reputation is everything. Okay, I have to go. That was mildly odd. And now, we're going to take Camellia. And finally, we're going to do a quest. Even though it will not have a happy ending. I'm pretty sure of that. Pretty sure that we will have great troubles. Maybe we shouldn't even do the quest. I don't necessarily want to lose her as a companion. Why is there a bretzel? You seeing that? That's a bretzel. I guess pretzels are now universal sign for food. I mean, a good warm pretzel, freshly baked, with a bit of butter and maybe a bit of salt. That's pretty glorious. So we need to take someone out. Do I want to take Regil out? No. Okay, goodbye Regil for now. Only for the remainder of this quest that we're going to take Camellia with us. One of the Nelfashnis killed by the Crusaders was clutching a huge blood-stained bag in his arms. Inside, the soldiers discovered lots of weird trinkets, broken artifacts, relics that had lost their power, and other such oddities. It seems like this demon took joy in collecting broken magical things. Voice of the Cursed Bard. The priests of Mishulin only speak the name of Frances, the cursed bard, in terrified whispers. There was a day when he was one of them, and his fame resounded from Pharisea to Andoran. He travelled to the world with a song and a smile, and a lovely wife at his side, but his name was not Tom Bombadil. He dreamt of creating the song of all, and spent years gathering sounds and notes for the melody that would encompass the entire creation in supreme harmony. That still sounds very much like Tom Bombadil. The laughter of a child and the confession of love, the triumphant cry and the gentle lullaby, all became sources for his inspiration. That's definitely Tom Bombadil. The journey brought the husband and wife to Dresden, where the great bard sang for the soldiers to inspire them before battle. But one night darkness descended upon Frances. You know, Tom Bombadil is an interesting story in Lord of the Rings. Nobody knows who he truly is. Some believe that it might be Tolkien, or a representation of Tolkien himself and his wife. Some believe that it is in-law, not Tolkien, not the author, but maybe Iluvatar, the god Eru. But then again, who is the wife? And others just say it's just the master. And I'm pretty sure that Tolkien himself said in a letter once that it is just the master, and it's not supposed to be known who he is, for he's the master over his own things. It's interesting in the books Lord of the Rings, when the council convenes in Rivendell, they think about giving the ring to Tom Bombadil, and Gandalf says that's not a good idea. Tom Bombadil has no power over the ring, even though the ring has no power over him, for nobody has power over Tom, for he is his own master. And Tom has no mind for these things. He would probably just forget it and lose it, because his mind would not be on such tiny token. That's quite interesting. A thought of Tom Bombadil just being his own master, nothing else. You are gathering only the notes of joy, Bard, it whispered mockingly, but there are so many other sounds you've never heard before, it murmured. But pay me with the blood of your love, and I will reveal them to you. Frances attempted to resist Nocticular's seductive voice, but to no avail. By dawn, his hand reached for the knife on his own accord. He walked through the city streets covered in his wife's blood, singing a song with a happy smile on his face, and nobody dared to stop him. So terrifying and powerful was his voice. I called Frances to Alishaniro, where he kept gathering the notes to compare the song of all, the cries of a mother whose children were butchered in front of her, the moans of a warrior whose hands were being chopped off, the wailing of lovers who would never see each other again. His cruelty astonished even demons. He murdered and tortured women and men, but the smile never left his face. What the... Years went by and the song of all was almost complete. The cursed bard was lacking one final chord. He came to the flesh markets and walked among slaves, treating them to sweet wine and even sweeter songs. The thralls watched him with hope and timid smiles. They gratefully accepted the cup he offered, but wine's tangy aftertaste quickly gave way to searing pain. The bard's wine casket was full of poison that liquefied innards, and the moans of the dying joined Frances' song with its final note. The cursed bard drank the bitter dregs himself. He sang as he lay dying, and was happy. The demons listened to his performance with bated breath. It was the song of all wicked, hymn the darkest night, where the cursed fire burns bright. When Frances fell silent, his body was reduced to rancid ooze. Poison spared only the bard's vocal cords, which the demons preserved as a grisly relic. They became a memento of the most frightful, the most remorseless song Alishaniro ever heard. Dear, why is every story in this game so super dark and terrible? Talk to Hilo. Where in the heck am I supposed to talk to him? Oh, we can't go. It's going to take us a day. Okay. Here we can continue. Let's just skip a day. And there's our army. Going to say hello to the enemies. Wait, can we maybe teleport to Kinabris? Okay, no, we can't. Okay, so the closest one is Villares Fort's outpost. Okay. That's the story for the next episode.